From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I hope you're feeling the same. It is Friday, the best day of the week. And you guys already know Fridays are always a day that are made for, great sports, great chilling, great food, all that good stuff, man. TGIF, thank goodness it is Friday. So pretty much we are here now with the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles. And I'm your host, the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Kappa. So let's go ahead and jump into it. 30 teams in 30 days. We are here at the finish line of 30 teams in 30 days right now for the Central Division. And the Central Division is going to be a division that we are going to be very, very, very excited about throughout this season, because it's going to be one of those divisions that might not produce a lot of wins, but it could produce a lot of great nights for bettors like yourself, on, pretty much winning, on certain nights with unders and things of that nature, some overs and stuff like that. Because you know how it goes in this division. The Pirates are a team that gives up a lot of runs, and sometimes they're a team that doesn't score a lot of runs. And then you get the same thing kind of with the Brewers, where they're a team that goes under a lot because they got a lot of great pitching and things like that. But then you have a team that just does it all very well, and that's going to be the St. Louis Cardinals. The St. Louis Cardinals coming to this season once again as the favorite of the Central Division. When are they not the favorites of this division? You know what I mean? And pretty much they had a 92 and 69 record last year, 93 and 69 record, I'm sorry, last year. And they were absolutely tremendous when it came down to the final 2 months of the season, even though they did have a kind of a back and forth with themselves throughout the year. And then all of a sudden they just, the light switched on and this team was hard to stop. And they overtook the Brewers at the time and wound up winning another Central Division, and pretty much went into the playoffs and got put out. That's just very simple. Played, I think, in the first round, the actual new first round of the playoffs, and they got put out of their misery by the Phillies. The Phillies absolutely wrecked them. Pretty much the Cardinals, though, you kind of had a sense that it could be a tough little situation for them in that series. So, they come back this season, highly regarded as usual, probably the best system in baseball. Let's keep it real. The Houston Astros literally are using their playbook on how to create great teams. Even though the Cardinals did steal some information from the Astros years ago, we still know that, like, literally their whole blueprint is the same as the Astros. Now you have Arenado, who's going to be late to getting back, but he should be pretty big for this team. Paulie Goldschmidt, who is now who's now a face of the league as well too. One of the faces of the league after having such a great WBC. He was another player that really stood out. Tommy Edman is probably going to be one of the best leadoff men in the league because he actually steals bases. They have him projected to steal 29 bases this year, but he also is projected to strike out 100 times as well, too. So that's something to look at. But he got a good average that's right for a leadoff man. But, I'm trying to get my leadoff man to have a little bit more on-base percentage. You know what I mean? And I think that's going to be something that's key. But he has the perfect position for a leadoff man. That should be good. Tyler O'Neill is a guy that very smart hitter, very, very smart hitter. He's projected to hit 25 home runs in the second hole this year. And then Ariando is projected to hit 27 home runs. So they do have a pretty good group 2 through 4. And then you still have Wilson Contreras there, who's going to be now the starting catcher. Backing up right behind Yadier Molina retires and everything like that. That's why Albert Pujols came back to make sure he retired with his old friend. Now, they have some guys at the bottom of the lineup that are kind of intriguing. Jordan Walker seems like a guy that could be pretty big this year. He's a designated hitter. Probably needs to get his walk rate up a little bit, but he could be a guy that does pose a great threat. And then Lars Nootbaar could be a guy that's very key for this team. They got projected hit 19 home runs with 62 RBIs this year, on base percentage of 332. So that should be something that can work. And his slugging percentage is at 430, one of the better players on the team as well. So it seems like this group 2 through 6 is going to be kind of dangerous. And then Brendan Donovan and Dylan Carlson at the bottom of the lineup, they should be some good little table setters and everything like that. So when you look at the way that they set this lineup up for the Cardinals, the meat of the order is going to be through the 2 through 6. The table setter is going to be Tommy Edman. And then you got guys that should be able to get a trickle-down effect here in the 7 and 9 spots. So we'll see how it goes. Now, when I look at the starting pitchers, as usual, it's a very, very above-average group. They're not one of the better groups in the league, but they're not one of the worst groups in the league, but they're not middling either. This is a group that you can trust on most days. You know what I mean? You got Mike Mikolas, who's seen as the ace. He's not going to be the best strikeout man for the team. That goes to Jordan Montgomery, free agent. Jordan Montgomery, who was acquired for Hayden Bader last year. And I think Jordan Montgomery is going to be good. I think he's going to be real good this year. You don't have the pressure of the Yankees behind you. And Jack Flaherty is probably the one pitcher that I do circle as like the guy that you can trust the most. Jack Flaherty is a guy that really does eat up innings, and he goes out there and he does a great job as well too. Steven Matz trying to get it right here with the Cardinals. He was a big prospect with the Mets years ago, but now he's trying to get this thing going the right way with the Cardinals. So we'll go see how it goes. Jake Woodford is going to be more of a spot starter this year. So I would say the 4-man rotation that they got going is going to be pretty good. And then they'll probably have a day to where the bullpen takes over majority of the game as well too. So with that, I have the Cardinals actually finishing this season. Under 88.5. Okay. I think that they're not going to I'm not saying that they're going to wind up losing out on the title or anything like that. It's just that I don't see the Central as one of the better divisions in the National League. I think that they're going to struggle this year, but they're going to be a division that has some good days for you when it comes to betting. You know what I mean? So I think that Cardinals under 88.5 does not say that they're going to be like an 80-win team. It says that they win probably 88 games or 87 games, but I just don't see them getting to 90 games this year. I just don't. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be a tough division, and they're going to get challenged by the Pirates. They're going to get challenged by the Cubs. They're going to get challenged by the Reds. You know what I mean? And they're definitely going to get challenged by the Brewers. So let's go ahead and look at my prediction for who the winner of the division is truly going to be. And the winner of the division that I have here is going to be the Brewers at plus 110. And let's get a rundown of what we went over this week. I had the Cubs going over 76.5. Like I said before, we got the Reds going over 65.5 as I put out on Tuesday. Then we got the Brewers over 86.5. We also have the Pirates under 66.5. And then we have the Cardinals under 88.5. And I have the Brewers winning this division at plus 110 this year. Brewers got the pitching that should be able to get them over the top. So that's why I like this team, and that's why I like where I'm going with this one as well too. And that's going to be a wrap on the NL Central for this week. And next week, we actually had to cut down a little bit on 30 teams in 30 days because the season starts on a Thursday. So I'm going to be doing 2 teams on Monday, 2 teams on Monday, and then we end with the beloved Dodgers. And then you guys get ready for our daily Dodger talk with Blue Crew Daily, the segment that we do have on the show. I haven't been doing Blue Crew Daily because there's no point in me reporting what's going on in spring training too much, because you can go onto the Dodgers site and read about the spring training, because spring training is all over the place, man. You got a lot going on with spring training and everything like that. And all I'm worried about is opening day at this point. So Thursday's opening day, so that will be the beginning of us covering the Dodgers on a daily basis. So be ready for that. So get all your good Dodger news and Dodger talk with Blue Crew Daily. It's a quick segment, about 5-6 minutes daily. So you guys be ready for that. And pretty much we are very close to another MLB season starting, and I haven't been this excited since I was about I haven't been this excited about a baseball season since I was about 11. I really wish I would have had the Sports Illustrated right now showing me who the projected lineups are going to be and all that good stuff. I remember I used to love when the MLB preview came out for Sports Illustrated. I thought it was probably the more thorough of the group when baseball was king. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into tonight. Tonight, we got some great things going on with the Sweet 16 Friday. And you guys know what happened last night. My beloved Bruins lose a close one. That one hurt, man. That one kind of hurt last night. 3 straight heartbreaks for UCLA. Third time, just that one really hurt because it seemed like the game was won. The UCLA did everything you're supposed to do to win a game, and they still wound up losing. So it is what it is, man. And at the end of the day, you can't go up 13 at the half and blow the lead and then expect to really win the game. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing, dude. And you don't score for 11 minutes, shame on you. But it happens. It's basketball. It's a tough game. And as I always tell everybody, when it comes down to this college basketball thing, it takes a lot of skill, but it takes a whole lot more luck than anything to get right where you need to go. But you know what? At the end of the day, UCLA is building something incredible at that school right now, and they're going to get the team that's not going to have this type of heartbreak moving forward. You know what I mean? I think UCLA really needs to recruit 10 really top-notch players. I think this whole, the walk-ons is here, and the extra cheerleaders, that's starting to become kind of a waste of time at UCLA. They need more killers on that team because that's exactly why they couldn't put Gonzaga away. They didn't have enough on the bench. That's the whole thing. Their bench scored like 3 points last night. That's not good. All right. So let's go ahead and say, pretty much we're put in a position where they were in a tough bracket, and everybody knew it was going to be tough to get out the West, and they got put out by another 30-win team. It's just that simple. And it is what it is at the end of the day. So it's not like they got beat by a 16 or a 15 or a 14 or anything of that nature. They got beat by a team that was equally as good as them in Gonzaga. And shout out to Julian Strider. Real quick story. I remember I saw Julian when I stayed in Las Vegas back in 2018. It was a winter tournament. I was actually hanging out with a good friend of mine, Neil Nieves, who at the time was working assistant coaching for Orange Lutheran. And they had a kid over there that actually is related to the Maker family as well, too. And he wound up being somebody, I think that's the kid that wound up going to Howard. Or something of that nature, or Morgan State or something of that nature. And he was a big-time recruit that went there, blah, 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 but they didn't let him play for some odd reason. So, he was a part of that group. But long story short, I remember I saw this kid, and I said, man, he's really good. This kid from Liberty High School. I called my friend who's a Vegas native, and he's well younger than me and he was just not too far removed from high school at the time. And he was like, nah, that dude is legit. He's going league. And I just started following him from there. He went to Gonzaga. Then he goes off and he makes that incredible shot last night. It just was like, wow. And the confidence that he had when he threw it up just was incredible. So, shout out to Julian, man. I can't be mad at a kid that I really went ahead and I saw the future with him as well, too. And his future is very bright. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the games because that's what we're here for, is to talk about the games. And we have the South Regional tonight on, just kicking it off on TBS, 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, 6:30 on Eastern time. So pretty much you got San Diego State 29-6. You got Alabama 31-5. Alabama, let's keep it real. Alabama would have been out the tournament if they was in the West Regional, if they was in the East Regional, because those regionals were pretty hard. FAU, big win last night against Tennessee. I think that was absolutely incredible. So pretty much we had them with the +5.5. My only disappointment last night in reality was Arkansas, because I don't know what the hell I was thinking taking that +165 and betting against a UConn team that I've talked so highly about. But I just felt like UConn might have not be ready for the moment. But it was Arkansas who wasn't ready for the moment. So that stuff happens. It happens. But San Diego State is a sneaky good team. And then Alabama, you already know Alabama is the perennial favorite to win the national championship this year. The number one team in the tournament. They're blah, 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 blah. There's just a lot of great things going on for Alabama right now. But we all know that Alabama has played a really great schedule. They played really great basketball, but it seems like they keep getting the easier of the draws here, even when they won their conference championship. So I do feel like tonight this game does present the tough factor for Alabama. Alabama's going to have to play tonight. But I truly do think at the end of the day, since San Diego State doesn't score a lot of points, that this could work out in Alabama's favor, because Alabama's going to score. It's that simple. They're going to score. And, if you're going to have long droughts of not scoring when you're San Diego State, then you're going to have to be ready for, to have them on long droughts as well, too. So I think Alabama really does have a strong chance in this game. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But San Diego State will have the state of California riding with them, because they are the last team from the state of California left. So let's hope for the best. Let's hope for a great game tonight. But I think Alabama is going to hold up their number one seeding very well tonight. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. All right, so let's go ahead and move into our first matchup in the Midwest Regional. And then once again, a 1 seed is featured in that matchup as well. We got Miami 27-7. We got Houston 33-3. The tip-off is at 4:15 on CBS tonight. You got Miami coming into this game very, very confident. Miami had a very good game against Indiana. They absolutely crushed Indiana, in my opinion. Indiana was a team that I had going kind of far in the tournament, but they just kind of burnt out. That's really truly what it was. They just kind of burnt out, and there was nothing they could truly do about it. It just was. It's the game. You know what I mean? It happens. So I think that when it comes down to it, you have a very good game here, because Houston has been challenged in both of their games. Northern Kentucky isn't your average 16 seed. So they played pretty good in their spot. They only lost by 9, and they kept things honest with Houston. Then Houston showed their grit. Houston could easily be out this tournament right now. Auburn had them down 10 points, and Auburn was confidently beating them at the time. And then the light switch turned on in the second half for this team, and they just went off. Like we always like to say, going off, and they went off. And pretty much they went ahead and outscored them in the second half, 50-23, 27 points, beat them by 17, no problem. That's what national champions do. You know what I mean? And that's just what I was kind of in awe about that situation. I thought that was absolutely tremendous what they did, to be honest with you. So I truly do feel that this one is going to be one of those games tonight. It's going to be a great game tonight. It's going to be back and forth tonight. I think that they're showing a little bit too much love towards Houston tonight, because you have to understand, yes, the ACC had a bad year, but the ACC is still a better conference than the AAC. Let's keep it real. Houston does not have a 33-3 record in the ACC this year. Let's just keep it real. You had to play Duke and North Carolina twice. You know what I mean? And good thing about Miami is Miami actually fared pretty well against both those teams this year. They played pretty well against Virginia this year as well. And, and I'm naming off teams that have won national championships here in the last 12 years. So, it's not like Miami it's ACC's that bad this season, because they're not. ACC is still a good conference. So there's just a lot of things that work out in our favor tonight when it comes to this spot. So I truly do think that Miami is the play here, to be honest with you. I just think that they are the play here. And I'm not going to say I'm not telling you to money line them. I'm not telling you to do any of that. What I'm telling you is that what I'm telling you is that this will be something that will get all of us very, very keyed in, if you know what I mean. So pretty much we have a very fun situation going on with this game tonight. And I truly do feel that whatever side you choose, you just need to be ready for heartbreak. You know what I mean? That's all I can say, is that you just better be ready for some heartbreak. And Miami is I know Miami wants to get this thing right. I truly do. Because Miami got absolutely crushed a few years back when it came to playing against Villanova. So, and they were in the same situation. They were one of the better teams in the nation. They had some big wins throughout the year, and they just couldn't hold on. So I think this comes, oh, wow. And real quick, I'm going to keep it real. I don't think that the Sweet 16 or any tournament games are going back to Vegas for a very, very long time. There's been like 7 complaints that I've seen about what's been going on with teams, and it's really messed up because right now UConn is confirming that things were stolen off their bus last night. So I'm not surprised, because you got 17,000 bums walking around the strip. And you know what? When you got events like this, everybody's looking for the big come up. So it is what it is. So hopefully they can get that stuff recovered, or they have the insurance to recover that stuff. But man, it just sucks for UConn. They had shitty rooms, and then they get robbed. I was like, damn, it sounds like an epic week in Vegas, and you win a basketball game by 23 points. Whoa. You know what I mean? Just giving UConn more and more motivation, I guess. All right, so we have the Princeton Creighton game. Princeton and Creighton. You have Princeton number 15 right now, and then you have Creighton 23 and 12. So they got the same amount of wins this year, but Creighton has more losses. But we know why Creighton is the higher seed. They're in the Big East, and Princeton's in the Ivy League. It totally makes sense. But you guys already know, I told you guys on Twitter that the Ivy League was going to make some noise this year. I didn't know they was going to get all the way to the Sweet 16 as a 15 seed, though. And, I said this really with the idea that Yale was going to be the winner of that game, because they had beat Princeton twice by double digits. But I was very confident in Princeton being a pretty good team in the tournament as well, too, this year, because I kept my eye on them as well. And what happened was that Princeton absolutely dominated Yale at the end of that game. And then they go in and they had a real good win over Arizona. But Arizona should have won that game. Let's keep it real. Arizona did everything to lose that game. But Princeton is smart enough and disciplined enough to not care about all that. They weren't going to lay down and make the mistake to help you win the game. They always play smart. So pretty much what happened was that they got the win, And everybody was like, oh, good win. Probably they'll move on and not be able to do anything. But you know what? I think a lot of people were very into the Princeton movement after what happened with Arizona. Missouri, I thought would be a lot better, but Missouri wound up not being that good. They had a really fickle season. Let's just keep it real. They were a really good team at home, just like Texas A&M. Really good team at home, not a good team when it comes to non-conference in the road. It's just that simple. So what happened was they got absolutely cooked, just like Texas A&M got cooked by just like Texas A&M got cooked by Pitt. Like nobody saw that. Like really, like or Penn State, whoever cooked them. But you just told yourself, like, man, these teams, you thought they would be better, but they weren't. So Princeton tonight, I think they're giving them all these points because if they made Princeton a +5, everybody would be taking Princeton money line and +5 tonight. So I think what they want to do is they want to make it seem like Creighton is going to be the end-all, be-all for this team, which they can be, because Creighton can easily go ahead and just set out on a quick 15-0 run to start the game and not look back. And that's what the odds makers are looking at. And the way for them to make sure that they got some Princeton money was to put it up here at 10, because if they put it at 5, everybody's taking Creighton. Let's keep it real. So you put it at 10, everybody takes Princeton. And then what happens is that Creighton probably does go crazy in this game, but I don't know if Creighton is that type of team. Let's keep it real. This is a pressure situation for them, and I really don't see them making it out of this game in one piece like that. They could win, but I don't see them just coming out of this game just flawless tonight. So I think Princeton is the smarter bet here with the points, in my opinion. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. All right, so we have our final game of the night, which is the best game of the night, in my opinion, because it's a 3 and a 2. This is going to be number 3, Xavier, who is 27-9, going against Texas, who's 28-8. Xavier, the runner-up in the Big East tournament, and then Texas, the Big 12 champion of their tournament. Now, Texas comes in here as a 4.5-point favorite, and the tip-off's at 6:45 on CBS. So Texas is a team that has stepped up to the plate all season. They've played plenty of ranked teams on the resume this year as well, too. Same thing goes for Xavier as well. These teams are almost carbon copies of each other on how they played in their respective conferences this year, kind of under the radar. But Texas is a team that has a lot going good for themselves. They beat this Gonzaga team when they were number 2. And this is actually a get-back game because Creighton and Texas actually played each other early in the season at the Moody Center. And Texas got the win. Texas beat them by 5. So Creighton has it on their mind. And Creighton was a better team at this point. Creighton was the number 17 team in the nation at that time. They lost to Illinois. Illinois was a tournament team. And then when you look at the fact that they play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ranked teams in a 2-month stretch, that's pretty good. And then the good, thorough win that they just got over Penn State, a team that had upset all on their mind. This team has really been able to take the punches and then give punches. And they're doing all this with losing their head coach very early in the season. And so now Texas is gotten very comfortable with their actual new coach, who I think they're going to take the interim title off of if they haven't already done it. And he's going to be somebody that they're going to put on Front Street because he hasn't been in a situation like this before. But Coach Sean has. And I think that, Sean Miller, it probably would be a better story if Xavier wins because Sean Miller, it would be him coming back from the depths. But I think at the end of the day, it's a better story if Texas wins because Texas is the better team. Texas has really, whenever your head coach literally leaves, most times, if the head coach has it the way that Texas was set up, then pretty much what happens is in that situation at the end of the day is that the team goes south. They didn't go south. They stayed the course. So Texas tonight, I think this is a big proven point for them, a big show out game for them as well too. But this will be the best game of the night. Let's keep it real. And once again, Xavier does have it on their mind to get themselves a good win. I said, and I'm tripping because I said Creighton. Creighton's not playing them. I'm sorry, y'all. So Xavier's playing these guys, but they did beat Creighton, who had good luck against Xavier. So it's kind of like a similar win. So that was the only game that they had against a Big East team. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But with that, we're going to go ahead and take our first break of the show. And when I get back, we'll be talking some State of the Lakers, and we'll be talking some NBA Friday night, and then we'll be talking some tickets. So you guys stay tuned. This is the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash, and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
What's up, world? I am back. I am back, and let's go ahead and jump into it. The Lakers playing tonight, and that should be a lot of fun. And yeah, man, yeah, nephew, I do kind of feel like the tournament kind of probably went the same way that the All-Star game went a little bit, for teams and people, because this just isn't a good weekend to be doing a tournament. Boxing match, Taylor Swift concert, a minor league baseball game. Like, goddamn, Vegas, you got way too much going on right now. Your town's not big enough for all that. You guys just keep thinking that you're LA, but you're not. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. But I love Vegas. I do. But, y'all been talking a little bit too much trash about my city. So I'm going to have to put you in your place, little sister. You know how it goes. At the end of the day, all y'all want to live in LA, you just can't. You know what I mean? So, it's funny to me because people think that having a bunch of casinos makes you have a lot of money. And that's the total fucking opposite. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, it's the total opposite. Cut it out. Like, Vegas, you're good, but let's not shit all over California so you can feel better about yourself at the end of the day. You know that you're a one-trick pony. Cut it out. Yeah, you got your little hockey team. You got the Raiders, but most of the Raiders fans are coming from California anyway. So, at the end of the day, the California, it pays for you just as much as it pays for the rest of the country. Because, you guys gotta understand, when we get taxed, the tax money goes back to the poor ass states like Mississippi and stuff like that. So don't worry, the California trickle down effect keeps this whole country going. So you guys can hate our state as much as you want to, but we're the ones that keep a lot of you people in business. So appreciate daddy for once in your life. All right, so let's get to it. I know I probably pissed off a lot of people right now, but I ain't lying to you though. But I'll be the first one to dog out LA, and everybody knows that. But I can't let you just sit up there and have your rants and raves about my place, man. I just can't let you do that. But the Lakers tonight, 6-4 in the month of the month of March. They're playing great basketball right now. They're the 9 seed because everything kind of worked out last night. Utah lost last night, so that was very helpful. Also, I think who else lost last night? I think Oklahoma City lost No, Oklahoma City didn't play. But the big thing, yeah, Oklahoma City did play. They lost to the Clippers. So the Jazz losing on Wednesday was huge, and the Oklahoma City Thunder losing last night was huge because the Thunder were actually sitting in a seven hole. Now the Thunder find themselves out of the mix because they were 36 and 36. They were sitting in the 7 hole. And then what happened was they lost. So pretty much Minnesota has stepped into this 7 hole now. They're 37 and 37. The Lakers 36 and 37. The Mavericks 36 and 37, and the Hornets are 36. I'm not the Hornets, but the Pelicans are 36 and 37, and Oklahoma City's 36 and 37, but they're on the outside looking in because they're not in the mix when it comes to the actual they haven't beat these teams enough. So the tiebreaker has them out of this situation. Now you got the Clippers who are 39 and 35, the Suns who are 38 and 34, who the Lakers beat the other night. And then you have the Golden State Warriors, the team that just keeps either throwing in the white flag or telling us they may win another championship. I don't know. This team is confusing, but they're 38 and 36 right now. And pretty much D'Lo's questionable. That means that we just got to get a big effort from Schroeder, and that means that Lonnie Walker can get some playing time tonight. I don't know what's wrong with Darvin Ham and him not playing Lonnie Walker anymore, but he has some explaining to do. He might need to tell us why he's not doing that. But Lonnie Walker, he'll come out on a podcast or something like that in the summer and tell us exactly why he's not playing. So you know how that goes. But 4 through 12 right now is, once again, it's a log jam. And Portland, we can just say they're out of it. Let's just keep it real. Portland's out of this thing. So the Lakers tonight, they really need to win this game because really they're at the crossroads, and these are the games you got to win because these are the teams you're trying to get out of your way. Because the Lakers right now, it's not even a worry about being a 6 seed; it's about getting into the playoffs, and it's pretty much, to me, I think that the Clippers are not going to do exactly what you want them to do. The Clippers are going to stay winning, in my opinion. And I think the Lakers, with them being now a game and a half out of the 6 hole, they can get that 6 hole because if they have the same record as the Warriors lose because the Lakers beat them 3 out of 4 times this year. So that is something that's pretty cool. Now, I hate to say this, but I would say Sacramento pretty much has the Pacific Division wrapped up. There's about 9 games left to go in the season, and they're 5.5 games. They're already 5 games ahead of Phoenix, and Phoenix seems to not be able to put it in this thing, and Sacramento refuses to lose games. So it's just that simple. So the Lakers just know that it's time. Now, D'Lo, from what my people are telling me, is questionable tonight. So that most likely means he's not going to play. But that's okay because they got Dennis Schroeder. And actually, Reeves has been playing such good basketball. Why not? But see, it's killing me right now because I see 7 players in double digits, and then one of them's not getting any playing time, and that's Lonnie Walker. And Hachimura was actually double-digit scorer as well too, but his minutes have been getting kind of limited. As what his minutes have been getting kind of limited, and it's like, Darvin, what are we doing, bro? Like, seriously. But one guy they don't talk about enough, and I want them to talk about it more, is Wayne Gabriel. Wayne Gabriel has been playing great basketball. 5.8. It doesn't look like much when you look at his stat line, but just look at what he's been doing in games this year. Wayne has had some big games for us this year. Straight up. Let's keep it real. 6'9", 205. It's kind of a real great story with this kid as well too. He's been in the league 3 years. and he played at Kentucky when Kentucky wasn't that good. So that's why he doesn't get a lot of love, but he was one of Kentucky's top players. So, that's good in its own right. So the Lakers, they need a lot tonight, in my opinion. They can't slack a minute here against a very sneaky OKC team. They're gonna have to be in this one. They're gonna have to be game tight, head on a swivel, all that good stuff. But Austin Reeves and his efforts have been absolutely tremendous the last few games. 35 career high the other night, then 25 in their last game. Just good stuff. All in all, he's been in double digits, as I said before, in their last 9 games as well too. And it's just it's a very good sight to see. And the fans at Staples absolutely appreciate the kid for it. But the Lakers tonight, I truly do feel like this is a must-win situation, and the Lakers can't put any pressure on themselves. That's what I say as well too, because they know that they're the better team here, even without LeBron and even with D'Lo possibly out tonight as well too. But D'Lo's still a game time decision. We know what happens. He got to get out there on the court, see how he feels. If he feels good, he'll play. If he doesn't, he'll sit it out. And really, we need him to play, but we'll see how it goes, though. Dennis Schroeder's ready to go, so we're fine. We are fine. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and move forward and get into our next subject in hand, and that's going to be the NBA Friday night. NBA Friday night has 10 games tonight. We're reviewing 5 of them. And the first game up tonight, we're going to talk about the Pacers and the Celtics. The Pacers are 33-40. The Celtics are 50-23. And the Celtics are a 12.5-point favorite tonight, and the over-under of 234.5. Now, when you see this game, you see a lot of injuries on the injury report. Halliburton's out tonight from what I'm hearing, and Jason Tatum is a game-time decision. So you got 2 of the best players on the court out for both teams, and so this makes it to where it's kind of a toss-em-up game, right? Not really, because Boston's still a big favorite in this game because they still got Jaylen Brown, and Jaylen Brown's a hell of a player. So, Jaylen Brown can pick up the slack for Tatum, and everybody knows that. So pretty much what I'm looking at is that you have a Pacers team that has won 4 games and lost 5 games this month. Actually, they're 5-5. I'm sorry. They're 5-5 this month. They won their last game, 118-114 over the Raptors, snapping a 2-game losing streak in the process. So, the Pacers are looking to get themselves keep themselves in the mix. You know what I mean? Because the Pacers were in the playoff mix for a little bit, but I think that they've been put out, but they're sitting on the outside looking in right behind Chicago, because Washington, with these last few losses, have found themselves outside of the play-in portion, because they were in that play-in portion for a while. Now you have Indiana, who's sitting here, who's only who's a game and a half out from Chicago. And you got Washington that's sitting 2.5 games out. And, believe it or not, Orlando is 4 games out of a play-in spot. But I think Orlando isn't too worried about that either. So what I see in this game tonight, I'm going to go ahead and take the Pacers with the spread. I think it's going to be lower than 12.5, because I know I have it at 11.5 on our card. And I know that when I went back to look at, everything a few minutes before the game, I would say that pretty much it would be, well, I'm sorry, the people that think that they put out injury, the injury report didn't come from the actual team. It came from somebody who was close to the situation, and they said that it looked like that Halliburton would be out tonight. So thank you for correcting that information for me, brother, on the situation. So Halliburton is playing tonight. So most definitely the spread's going to change. But regardless of anything, I'm taking the Pacers with the plus points tonight. So if they're at plus 11.5 on the card I gave you, but at the end of the day, I think that they're going to wind up being probably a plus 9.5, plus 8, because now Halliburton's playing. So you have to respect the fact that he's in the game as well too. All right. So yeah, and he got to play because they're trying to get in the playoffs, right? So it is what it is. All right, so we move forward. Let's go ahead and jump into the next game. Utah Jazz, nobody can correct me on this one. The Jazz, the whole team's out, literally. Clarkson's out. Laurie's out. Who else is out? Everybody of significance is out. Let's just say that, okay? So they got 4 guys out that are all starters. They're out. They're not playing tonight. The Bucks 52-20, best record in the East. Now the best record in the NBA. And then you got the Jazz 35-37. They are on the outside looking in. They were sitting pretty for a little bit there, but they lost. So the Jazz trying to get it back together tonight. But the Bucks will be too much. Let's keep it real. I think the Bucks are going to win this game by 10 or better. They're a 9-point favorite on our card as well too. So I like the Bucks tonight in this spot. And I really don't need to talk about much here, but I still will because we do need to know what these teams have done for this month. I just don't want to walk you guys into a battlefield, you know what I mean, like the others do. I'm not going to do that to you. All right, so they are 8-3 this month. The Bucks, they've been playing great basketball. So that's why I knew I didn't have to look too hard into it. And then you got the Jazz 4-5 this month. They had 1-2 in a row and then had that two-game winning streak snapped. And, they wind up losing the season series to the Blazers as well, dropping 3 out of 4 to their division rival. So, pretty much Portland, that's probably a bright spot for this team this year on the way that they still dominated their division. So pretty much tonight I'm going to take the Bucks to go ahead and win this game and win this game by a lot. So, yeah, I'm taking the -9 on him. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it checks out. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our next one, the Sixers and the Warriors. And the funny thing about this is the Warriors were their original Philadelphia team. The 76ers used to be the Syracuse Nationals. All in all, they were both Wilt's teams. So, tonight they meet up, and it's always a good game when you got the 76ers and the Warriors because there is a history here. Now, the Bulls, wrong. Bulls, that's the next one. 49-23, 76ers, 38-36 for the Warriors. I already explained the Warriors situation is that they are in a do or die situation, but they're pretty safe right now because they're 38-36, and they're at home. And they've won their last 2 games as well, too. And both were on the road. Like, wow, they're accomplishments for this team. Now, you do have a Philadelphia team that's 49-23, third seed in the Eastern Conference. They would be the 2 seed in the West right now. So what I'm looking at right now is this team has been absolutely cooking this month. This team is 10-2. So pretty much with that, they present the best options when it comes. Actually, they're 11-2. I'm so sorry about that. They're 11-2 this month. So this team really, to me, really does not get enough credit. They're playing great basketball right now, excellent basketball right now. And they did get a good win over Chicago, who did snap their winning streak as well. So, they were pretty pissed about that. So what did they do? They righted that wrong. You know what I mean? So, this team is sitting here looking good, man. 10-2 this month. We talked about them earlier this week as well, too. And so, there's a lot of things working out in Philly's favor, and them being a 5-point dog tonight, that's a little insane to me because the Warriors aren't good. Let's keep it real. It doesn't matter if it's at home or away or something of that nature. The Warriors just don't get off early. They're not going to beat you. It's just that simple. They won their last 2 games after losing 3 in a row, and that's been their whole month. They'll win 2 in a row, lose 3 in a row. Win 2 in a row, lose 3 in a row. That's been the whole month, and that's got their record right now at 6-6. So this is still an even team. So when you see that a team has won 10 out of their last 12 games, and then you see another team that's 6-6 in their last 12, and the team that's 6-6 is a 5-point favorite. Come on, dude. Come on. I'm going to take the team that's the better team, and that's Philadelphia. So I like Philadelphia tonight. I'm not taking them with the money line, but I think that they're a good money line play. But I think the scoreboard is the right play because the scoreboard, it just simplifies things. And I think that the over is definitely in play in this spot. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. And it is what it is, man. Doc Rivers he wants to beat the Warriors. He does not care. When you got a Doc Rivers coach team, they can be in any game they want to be. All right. So that's how I see it. Now we got the Bulls versus the Blazers. And if you guys know Sega, and if you guys know Super Nintendo, you guys all know about Bulls versus the Blazers. I love this game as a kid. Bulls versus the Blazers is the daddy. I don't care what they say. They'll say Bulls versus Lakers. Bulls versus Lakers was okay. Okay, Bulls versus Lakers was on one system. Bulls versus Blazers was on two systems. It was on Super Nintendo and Sega. So Bulls versus Blazers was incredible. You know what I mean? Because you had all those playoff teams, you had all these stars on the game, all that good stuff. But they didn't give you the whole NBA. They only gave you the teams that were in the playoffs. So it was teams that were in the playoffs. So Bulls versus Blazers was always a really fun game. And I'll keep it real. The only team I could play with on Bulls versus the Blazers in playoff mode and win the finals was none other than the Chicago Bulls. Everybody else, it used to be really tough for these other teams to really get where you wanted them to get. But I would say that my favorite team to play with on that game was the Golden State Warriors. Loved playing with Mullins and Tim Hardaway. They didn't have Richmond anymore, but they had Billy King. They had big Ed Lister, who was 7'3". You know what I mean? It was a lot of fun for me playing that game. And then the next year, NBA Showdown came out. So, you know, that's how it goes, man. It was a lot of fun. That's all I can say. And it was just a lot of fun. And, you know, if you pick the Blazers, they were pretty damn good too. So, you know, you had it, Bulls versus Blazers, classic. But let's talk about the game a little bit more. Let's talk about the game. The game is the most important part. And the game tonight features two teams that are going in two opposite directions. Blazers are a team that are just trying to get through the last 9 games of the season, and 10 games, because this would be 10 games left. And then pretty much you have a Bulls team trying to get into the playoffs. They are the 10 seed right now, as I said before. They do have a game and a half lead over Indiana, so this is a very must-win situation for them. But the Blazers, as Lillard said, he's not into tanking games, so he does want to play spoiler a bit. You know what I mean? So pretty much I like the Blazers tonight in a Friday home game, and I like them to be my dog of the day as well, too. I got them at plus 135, but they've moved to a plus 160 because they moved up to a 4.5. But I'm getting some information right now that the star player for the Bulls, being DeMar DeRozan, is questionable for tonight. But when DeMar is questionable, he usually plays. That's the whole thing. DeMar's from Compton. That boy tough. You know what I mean? Tough. Like, you know, start talking like my man Marcellus Wiley up here. He's from Compton, though. He's from Compton. All right, so we have the Suns and the Kings tonight. And Suns, Kings, this is a battle of the Pacific Division. I think if the Kings win this game tonight, that pretty much should put the nail in the coffin for the Suns on who's going to be the Pacific League titleist this year. They have a 5-game lead already, and Sacramento, you know, Sacramento had a terrible start to the season. Let's just keep it real. If you were paying attention, they had a horrible start to the season. They lost their first 4 games of the year. Look at this now. The team is 43-25 since that point. That's incredible. They spotted the league 4 losses. They spotted the league, and they're in the position that they're in now. Okay, so when it comes down to the Phoenix, they played the first time at Sacramento. They lost by 5. So Phoenix is 1-0 in Sacramento this year. They beat them by 5 that day. And then Phoenix beat them in Phoenix by 11 as well, too. And then I'm getting news now that DeMar DeRozan is actually going to be out. So there it is. He's out. And Sacramento beat them on the 11th of March, 128 to 119. So this will finish up their season series, and this could be to where if the Kings win, they would be 2-2 right now. But if the Suns win, they will own the season series, and that would be them winning 3 out of 4 of these. So this is a big game tonight in all essence of the word. And you have a team in the Kings that are trying to move into that 2-hole right now as well too in the Western Conference. So we got a good spot tonight. You know what I mean? But I think that we can go ahead and play the under. We got a big over under number here. I think that the under 239.5 is the best bet in this spot. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But that's what I'm doing with that right there. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into your favorite subject, my favorite subject, and that's Talkin Tickets. And I know everybody's going to be a little disappointed because Talkin Tickets is a little bare today. You know what I mean? Because I don't have a lot of once again, as I said before, college basketball has been strictly moved over to it'll be back next year. But as I always say, I offered the March Madness package, and this is the first year where I said I'm just going to let my exclusive clients have my exclusive plays because March Madness is a big deal. I've always done very well in college basketball. That's how I've brought in most of my clients. So why wouldn't I do the right thing and let them just be the exclusive group? Because they're the ones that invest in what we're doing here, not just, a hot five and a pat on the back. You know what I mean? And thanks for looking out for me. No, these people actually have been invested in the wave and the movement for the last 6 years. So I felt like this year had to be the year to where they got the exclusivity of the March Madness, and it's been great. So if you want to jump in, let me know, and you can jump in because I do have plays for you tonight. But all in all, let's talk about today's. But I got something good for you guys though. Still, Midwest Regional, I think the best value here, you guys know where I'm going with Texas. But, you got Houston here as well, too. But if you want the dark horse team, in a sense, I would say maybe you might want to sign up for Miami. I don't know. Miami's playing good basketball right now. They play good basketball throughout the whole season. They beat ranked teams. So they got a lot going for themselves in the right direction. But I think it's going to be a tough ask at the end of the day. But I think the most trusted team in the spot could be Texas. And then we had the South Regional odds. And let's just keep it real. Alabama probably is a shoo-in to get this. But I would say that the winner is the winner of their game tonight. So if San Diego State wins the game, I would say they go to the Final Four if they win. You know what I mean? So plus 550 could be a good play for you as well. But I think this is probably going to be the only regional where everybody's going to take the heavy chalk here, and that's going to be Alabama. So they're not heavy chalk either. Minus 180 is not a lot. All right. So there it is with the South Regional odds. And then we have ourselves the Super High Five tonight. Super High Five tonight is going to be a 28-1 ticket, but it's moved up a little bit as well, too. I have it at 35-1 with the plus 160 number to it now. Pacers plus 11.5. That probably will change. We also have the Bucks minus 9. I have them winning the game by 10 or better. We have the over 234.5 with the 76ers and the Warriors. Then we have the Blazers plus 135, the NBA dog of the day. And then we have the under 239.5 with the Suns and the Kings. So there it is. There it is. All right. So with that, we're going to go ahead, and that's going to be a wrap on today's show. I want to thank you guys very much for tuning in. And it's been another great week as well, too, Monday through Friday. I know I'm kind of fickle with the time. It's either noon or 1 or 2 o'clock. But next week, we'll make sure that we have a set time and everything like that moving forward so you guys know exactly what time it is to watch the show. So I thank you guys very much. It's been a great week. And I look forward to another great weekend as well, too. And I can't wait to see you guys on Monday to talk some more sports. I know that we're going to have great talks about the NL West next week. And we're also going to be talking a little more NFL draft next week as well, too. I know that I didn't talk about it much this week, but we got a lot of spicy stuff for the pepper in that situation as well too. So you guys make sure to tune on in as usual. And I thank you guys very much once again for watching the show today. And you guys are the absolute best. And with that, as I always like to say, bet with your head, not with your heart. The movement is moving. And this is the premier sports betting show, the Primetime Angles, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper.